Muzammil is with us in the studio. You might recognize him off our YouTube page, Mira Business FM, where you may have seen his face hosting some of the interviews in the early days of this venture. Muzammil, nice to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us in the studio. Gamer yourself?
Used to be. I was stopped playing around the 90s, Sega Mega Drive.
But the 90s?
Yes, the 90s. But I do have a small collection of 2D,
what were you playing with, an abacus?
No, we had the Mega Drive, right?
Okay, the Mega Drive,
the
Sega
Mega Drive.
and all that. Yeah, fair
so
enough.
the PlayStation 1 came out at that time.
PS1 was that was the grey one, wasn't it? Yeah, little flip up lid.
Yes.
I remember having stickers on mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And so, not got a games console now?
No, I do. I don't have a console, but I do have a Steam library, right? So that's there, and that's to basically engage with my son. Now he's going to be start gaming. He's already gaming Roblox, which is differently addictive.
And has he got a little headset with a microphone on and all that?
I did give him a headset, but it's the one which doesn't cause hearing damage because the kids will turn up the volume. So it's the one which sits outside. It's like, and you can even hear something.
Muzammil, the ever-caring parent. Look, I don't want to talk about gaming because it really doesn't interest me. I'm not going to lie. What I do want to talk about is a fascinating story, which is I'm just reading on Gulf News right now. And it seems that the UAE, particularly the Department of Education in Abu Dhabi, has introduced new rules which has made schools tighten their policies around food. And many schools across Abu Dhabi, and I think it's introduced in Dubai as well, are banning delivery services during school hours. I don't have kids, so I don't know what kids get up to here in the UAE, but it seems that kids are ordering food from Careem, Deliveroo, Noon, wherever it may be, and ordering it to schools during school hours or just after school, and picking up that food. What's going on, Muzammil? Do you know a bit more about this? Do you know what kids are up to these days?
A little bit, yes. So Abu Dhabi is taking the lead in basically being the leader in setting the standards for higher food quality, and they have come up with even a food grading system in the supermarkets, which doesn't exist here, like a traffic light system. So that's part of that. One of those things they did that last year. And this is so that you can see a package with which has ultra processed foods or something. So this is in line with their initiative, and because the UAE and the MENA region has one of the highest childhood obesity rates in the world, and that's not exactly the children are not to blame for them. It's the processed foods are cheaper, and the parents are economically strained, so they're buying whatever and putting in the lunch boxes. Also, that's one of the reasons, and part of it. The delivery thing is an interesting one because what's happening is that the parents are ordering the food, and of course they take the easy path of ordering fast food. Fast food may not necessarily be bad for you if it's done the right way, but that's what's happening.
So this is parents who are probably at work, their kids have just finished school, and they're ordering like their dinner, their lunch, whatever it is, directly to the school so they can pick it up and then have food so they don't have to feed them when they come home later.
Right. So it could be the teenagers, and because the delivery services are not to blame here, because you can even order a fantastic quality food from them. It's not a fast food issue at all. I believe it's more in line with, they will probably optimize this. They should optimize this, because there's no way to control it, right? And how would the kid will just go and then the solution, what is the solution? The kid has to be fed at some point.
But is the issue for schools and the educational department in Abu Dhabi and across the UAE, is it the issue of the food that's coming, or is it an issue of the fact that there are loads of delivery drivers outside the school at the end of the school day?
They haven't indicated anything which you could say that the delivery services are causing any issues. Of course, they're not even allowed inside, by the way. They are just dropping off at reception. Because even as a parent, unless you have an ID card, they won't let you in the general area.
I mean, this is the thing. So schools are opening in just a few days' time, 25th of August. Most people... Monday, yeah. Is that 25th? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm dreading it.
Yeah, I bet you are. Most will be back at school. And so this has come into play just now for the new school term. I'll just be interested to see actually how many kids actually even do that. Okay, so you're dreading going back to school. Why is that? It's expensive, huh? A return to school.
Of course, you get. It doesn't matter how much discounts you get from the Amazon and all of that. It's irrelevant because the largest sticker shock is from the school fees, and everyone knows that they keep rising.
Look, the school fees. Everyone knows that they're expensive. We know that. And, that's something that you've got to factor in when you become a parent and all that kind of stuff. But I want to talk about the stuff on the side, like all the uniforms, like if your child wears uniform, all the kind of stationery, even kind of the transport to and from school. These are all added costs and added factors. And as a parent, what is that like? Is it pretty expensive?
Right. So I can help some parents here if they want to, because the issue is that if they're new to the country and they are getting their children in school and their salaries are, they're setting themselves up, that would be a big cost initially, because the schools take 3 months school fees, which be around like maybe 12,000 to whatever 20,000 for a quarter. It's like a rent check effectively, right? Second rent check, third rent check, fourth rent check if you have more kids. So some of the credit cards are a tool, and some of them are offering 0% interest rate, like nothing for 3 months, 6 months, or one time 50 dirham, or some of them are like the Islamic banks are, there's no even an interest rate there, not even a processing fee involved. So those options are good if the parents want to feel a little bit comfortable in, not being squeezed completely and taking the residual cash left over and hopefully investing it and not just buying more useless stuff with it. So as long as that tool is used in the right way, that is the tool, but it cannot be had right away, because new people in the country need some time to get their credit history up and all that. So considering we are Mira Business FM, that's the angle that they should be following. And to be honest, some of them don't have any choice. Without those payment plans, their children can't go to school because it's pretty rough.
So what kind of stuff have you been buying for your kid ahead of school?
We recycle.
Recycle, yes.
Recycle. And you can get a lot of stuff. The good thing is some of the schools have a system where the books are given back, and then the stationery cost is included in the fees, so that a long time ago it used to be like a separate headache to buy them. And it's apart from that, it's not. That's not that bad. But the school bus fees, that's another one.
How does that work?
So it's optional. It's optional. Some parents are because if you're on the route, let's say if your school is in the opposite direction, it's a nightmare, right? You're double backing driving, and it ends up being, if you do the round trip cost of the car being the maintenance plus the traffic fine risks and all, people don't count all of those fees together. So, and plus don't forget that the health risk to yourself sitting and driving that much, thinking you're fine but you're not fine, right? So the school buses play a important role in this case. That definitely they help a lot. And but yeah, it's. At the end of the day, it's not scalable for parents to use their own transport. It's not scalable at all.
I'd be interested to get your take, because one of the stories in our headlines today, Muzammil, is about GEMS Education, and they've said that they are bringing in around 1,700 new teachers to Dubai for the school season ahead, which I think is a staggering number given the amount of teachers that are already in the country. But there is a huge knock-on effect, a business knock-on effect to that. Obviously, that's 1,700 people with new jobs, pumping money into the economy, etc. But that's 1,700 people who need a new place to live. So that will have an impact on the real estate market, right? People, I'm sure real estate agents will be licking their lips at the thought of 1,700 new people to either come and buy a property or looking for somewhere to rent.
That's I don't know, GEMS pays, it depends on the pay scale, right? How much they're paying the teachers. That's one thing. And the other thing is, again, that what kind of spaces can they afford. The doesn't matter. Like the teachers, I don't think they're that well paid, to be honest. They're okay-ish.
I think GEMS get pretty decent salary.
Depends on, because they have a whole range of genre schools, right? They have the middle class one and the high end ones, and then some of the schools with the kindergarten fees are more than the schools of other fees, like just even higher grades. So it's all, the whole range it's massive range here.
So when someone new comes here, then obviously there is the kind of the setup fees of accommodation, and then there's a lot of money that goes into setting up your life here. An influx of 1,700 people into Dubai by GEMS. Do kind of analysts, economists, do they see that as a positive for the city, or does it put more strain on when a big kind of chunk of people like that are coming at one time?
1,700, I guess it's a big number in some ways, but their buying power as a whole would not be substantive, as from what I feel, because versus the millionaires coming in and doing whatever, but they cause different kinds of issues, right? They gentrification stuff and all of that. The prices go up for everything. And yes, there is at the moment I think the real estate supply is coming on fast, so that will help a lot. And if there is any kind of planning coordination done so that there's less commute going on the roads, because the roads are also not scalable, which people forget that you cannot keep building roads endlessly, right? I mean, how much roads can you build? Even the transportation system is not endlessly scalable, which you can, you can see how.
Well, they're trying. Etihad Rail, they're trying. Blue Line, they're trying.
That's mass. That's not exactly, because they don't have the end-to-end thing, right? End-to-end is missing. That's interstate, inter-emirate, I guess. But we're still far off, because the thought process behind going, okay, if you live here, you should not commute more than 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Anything beyond that, you're choking all the exit points. You can big long roads, but all the choke points happen on the exits. And this is the downstream problem, which is forgotten. And the teachers, again, they have to be on school on time, and you're concentrating on the schools all the time. They're working at the same hours. They had talks about staggered times and all that, but it's just talk, never happened.
Yeah, one thing I love about Dubai in the summer is the roads are usually pretty free. And one thing I'm dreading about the next few days, and I've seen it already this week, people have returned, people have come back. You can feel that the city is getting busy again. And from Monday, we're going to be seeing a lot more yellow buses on the roads, aren't we? Yeah.
Well, I didn't think the buses themselves, like I said, that we don't have a percentage on how many parents are double backing, right?
Yeah.
If you do the math on, they go to the school and they come back, so that's double traffic just on that route with the buses. And then they may have to be at the office, because then the solution is that hybrid work, right? Remote work, but not everyone can do that. But most knowledge workers can do that, because the UAE has set up itself to be knowledge friendly.
Yeah, I don't think here in the UAE they do as much remote work as I know in other countries. I don't think as many companies offer that, perhaps because they've noticed that it's better to be in the office and to your work is at a better standard if you're in the office. Look, Muzammil, thank you so much for joining us on the Daybreak. Appreciate your insight into a couple of those stories. Firstly, talking about the Department of Education banning delivery drivers coming to school and dropping off foods for students, but also the whole idea of returning to school, and your bit of insight into gaming. Which you don't own a console, but you stream. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, you can stream from the PC to your Shield or something. It's a cheaper solution with it.
Look, all that stuff is going over my head. I don't know it. Oh, the last thing I played was probably, what was it? RuneScape. Anyone remember RuneScape?
Heard of it.
Yeah, Faraj nodding his head. Do you remember RuneScape?
Never played it. I was always a 2D fighter. Like you said, Tekken. So Tekken was a revolutionary game.
Yeah. Street Fighter.
It was the first 3D 2.5D game, the first one. And Street Fighter and all the Japanese games which are similar, the 2D style. So they're simple, button mashing. You can do that. If you don't want to button mash, you can just relax.
Yeah, I'm definitely a button masher. That's a great nickname. You're listening to Mira Business FM. This is Daybreak with me, Inzamam Rashid. Stick around. We'll be back after this.